So that is a bit from what happened in court today. Former President Jacob Zuma's corruption trial, along with the French arms manufacturer Thale, is now set to begin on the 17th of May this year. Constitutional expert Advocate Paul Hoffman from Accountability Now, in fact, joins us now to talk more about this. Advocate, good to have you on eNCA as always. So what I's need to be dotted and T's crossed to make sure that come the 17th of May, the trial goes ahead without further delay?
Well, provided COVID doesn't get in the way, it seems that is the only obstacle at this stage. And when you consider that the possible co-accused Shabir Sheikh was tried, sentenced and jailed in 2005, then it's very clear that a lot of water has passed under the bridge since that time.
And it's interesting, isn't it, that the date of the 17th of May was put forward initially in that statement from the Jacob Zuma Foundation issued over the weekend. They were saying, well, that's a delay. The NPA saying, well, it wasn't a delay for the trial. That, in fact, was a date that was put forward by all sides as far as when their legal representatives would be soonest available. Do you get a sense then, given the back and forth about something as basic as that, that the apart from the official court proceedings, we're likely to see a trial that also plays out in the court of public opinion?
Yes, it's very clear that the Jacob Zuma Foundation is putting as much spin on this trial as possible, and I suppose that is their job. But the truth is that it was very disingenuous to suggest that the state was not ready, when the reason for the most recent delay, the short delay, was that a co-accused was trying to get a charge of racketeering struck out, and that didn't happen, and they decided not to appeal. That's why the matter is ready now. But most of the delay between 2005 and last year is due to the delaying tactics of Mr. Zuma, not to the prosecution service. They were prepared to charge him in 2009, just before he became president for the first time.
And they say the state, they've got over 200 witnesses on their list when the trial does begin. But I'm no legal expert, but I don't imagine that a long list of witnesses automatically means that a case is strong, does it?
No, not at all. Look, Billy Downer is setting out to prove over 700 transactions, and if he does, then he is likely to get a 15-year minimum sentence out of this trial. What we at Accountability Now just cannot understand is that the National Prosecuting Authority was in fact decapitated by President Zuma while he was still president, when he sidelined his National Director of Public Prosecutions in a manner that was illegal and criminal. And nothing has been done by the prosecution service to get even with him for doing that. They could do a very short, sharp prosecution. They have all the papers from the civil proceedings relating to the matter, and get a similar sentence if they secure a conviction for the decapitation of their own institution by a rogue president. And they've done nothing. It's mystifying.
And just on that, the NPA, it's what we were just touching on a few moments ago, the fact that this will be as much a trial for Jacob Zuma as it will be for the National Prosecuting Authority, because if they flunk this, there will be a lot of backlash.
Yes, well, they're saying that the case is going to last for at least 2 terms and 200-plus witnesses, provided COVID doesn't get in the way too much. Some of the witnesses may have to give evidence on Zoom or some other electronic format. And if at the end of the day they are unable to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Zuma should share the same fate as Shabir Sheikh and be convicted, then certainly the amount of time, effort, public money, and reputational damage will be huge.
I'd like your thoughts on something else, Advocate, before we part ways. The State Capture Commission of Inquiry around this time yesterday filing papers saying it wants the former president jailed for up to 2 years for not appearing at the commission in line with an order from the Constitutional Court. Do you think they'll get that? Is that a reasonable and strong enough push that they've put together in those papers?
I'm sure that they will be able to show, given what Mr. Zuma himself has said, that he intends to flout the order, that he will defy the Constitutional Court, that he is, in fact, in contempt. But my guess, and I suppose I'm speculating, but why not? We're on television. My guess is that Mr. Zuma will be given a suspended sentence, probably in the region of the 2 years, maybe a little less, that the Commission is asking for, but the whole of the sentence will be suspended on condition that he present himself to the Commission for interrogation on a date that suits the Commission. So the ball will once again be in Mr. Zuma's court. It was put there by the Deputy Chief Justice in the papers, and it is going to be put there again when the Constitutional Court, or if the Constitutional Court is called upon to make a decision, if it does what I speculate it may do, which is to say, Mr. Zuma, either you go to jail or you go to the Commission. You make up your mind. That is the way I would see justice being done in the case.
And would a report from the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, the final report, be useless without the version or the side of the former president given?
Look, what we need to understand about commissions of inquiry, and it's not only the Zondo Commission of Inquiry, the findings of fact by a commission of inquiry bind no one. The recommendations that a commission of inquiry makes may be accepted or rejected, or accepted in part or rejected in part. They are also not binding on anybody. A commission of inquiry is the tool of the executive branch of government that is used to inquire into a complex or controversial set of facts with a view to doing what the executive would like to do itself but doesn't have time to do itself. So although there is a judge in charge of the commission, he is not doing judicial work. He will not be convicting anybody at the end of the commission, and he will certainly not be making any binding findings.
Advocate Paul Hoffman, good to speak to you. Thank you.